Welcome back to the Crust, everyone. I do hope you're having a sweet day today. We're gonna pick up with our operation and moving everything up to the surface here, and we're gonna figure out where the flight control center is gonna go today. This is currently under construction. I can have it finished pretty much anytime I want, and then we can get the trucks to come on in here and make some things happen. Today, we're also gonna be able to, I guess at least, bring something over to this mobile drilling rig. I'd really like to get that set up, and we do have a cargo truck that has just now arrived on the base, so we can go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and get Colossus to come on over, fill this up, and I think I might actually just let it linger because it's gonna start mining and everything, and I probably want the truck to go bring stuff, and I don't think there's anything I really need to go get. Maybe this supply depot over here. Maybe the supply depot could be a thing we could go get. That's fine, but we're gonna go to this one first. And I'll have it come back to base so we can go there, I guess. But right about there, we'll send that. That's our next expedition. Out to the mobile drilling rig you go. And that's going to, of course, take place on this building that's already set up. And then everything that comes in the mobile drilling rig, it's going to, it's basically like a mobile platform that's just going to sift up regolith and stuff. The trucks will have to pick that up and bring it here. But once they drop it off, it'll all come flowing out of here, and we'll have so much stuff to sift through. So that's going to be a big deal. It's going to come out through here. I've got these filters set up right now so that only certain resources go out the certain belts. So all the regolith will come out this higher speed belt and get right up into this system. And we'll go ahead and upgrade this belt as well. I think that's probably a good idea in the future for that. I've also taken away the pressing machine. I've had like numerous comments tell me about that. That's done. And this right here, the regolith is now flowing out of this. I've also set up additional ones, although they're not built yet. So we got this one here, who is it's going to be popped in. So when they grab all the regolith from the ground here, they can stick it in that one. I'm also going to do the same thing on this side, which I can do now. I think, yeah, we'll just pop it on the corner, I guess. I can pop it on the corner here, like, I guess just right up next to this is okay. Yeah, we'll just do this. Actually, why don't we just right up against it is probably technically the cheapest way of doing it, is just to go right up against it. Like that. Okay, and then we'll make sure this is all upgraded. So essentially, if they pick up regolith here, they should drop it here. If they pick up regolith here, they should drop it here. Anything over on this side should be dropped in here, and then we have another one over going in right here that'll do the exact same thing, and again, they'll drop it into that one. So it gives them an access point to drop all of the regolith all around the area. It gives them a, every corner of that square access point, which I think is going to be neat. Yeah, we don't really need the pressing modules anymore, so yeah, you're right about that. That's fine. What else? What else are you right about? I don't think there was anything else. I think I'm probably pretty good. I'm like the best player in this game, so. Anyway, I have an extra rolling mill here, so we're processing more titanium. I have a lot of these in place, a big old row of them, and you can see like we're kicking out titanium pretty fast now. I've also got this. I'd like to figure out if there's any more aluminum. It would just be the bee's knees. I'm telling you, if we could just find any aluminum at all, it would be so helpful to do that. There's some iron. Hey, look, I don't need that. So, maybe don't give me iron. Give me aluminum instead, okay? Come on. Give me something here. Give me something to work with. I'm drawing a blank on. I just got the really short straw, basically. I like that there's more ice over there, though. I do like that part. But yeah, definitely got short straw here on that. So we're going to let that go. I've got 16 days of power. I kind of want to see if that stays 16 days of power. It's dropping down to 15 now. Yeah. So we're okay. I'll let this linger. I'll let this go really quick. Maximum output is 2,600. And, maximum consumption is 1,700. We have more than enough batteries to satisfy all that. Despite that, though, it still says there's an energy shortage, and I'm not sure why that would be the case. Our max output is good. Our grid surplus, which is a silly wording because it's actually more of a grid deficit. So, whatever. That's fine. It's 0. It says 0, but it's actually, I don't know why they changed the wordage here. It's energy shortage. Shows how much energy is lacking to operate all modules. They said surplus, though. It makes no sense. It should be grid deficit, but yeah, it's okay. The grid deficit is 0, so, there's what it is. And maybe it's this, because there's now more concrete yes, more concrete production is going to happen. We'll hook you up to, let's hook you up to this one, actually. There we go. So we got that going. I'm going to move this because it's going to be in the way. This is not in the way, but this is in the way of what I want to do. So there's that. And you can see that the slag is making its way over into the system over here as well. So it's making its way over into this storage, going underneath some of these belts. That's okay. I'll walk you through how I did this because it took a little bit of finagling, but it's fine. So we have programmable splitter done now too. So what we have here is, of course, silicon coming this way. Half the supply is actually going to get cut before it even reaches this machine and go into this row. So these rows, basically these two are getting maximum priority in that sense, and then these two, and then these two, etc. But this goes all the way down and eventually ends up in here. And then it also cuts through here, underneath, comes out, underneath, and pops into this belt. So as we add more concrete production through here, which this works for, and the other one does not. It's actually done, isn't it? Sure is. So we're going to connect it to this pole and this pole, looks like. Yeah, so we're going to connect it to these two things, 1 and 2. Okay, and then I connect you to this one like that, and then delete this. Okay, so that effectively moves that pole so it's out of our way, because this is in the way of belts, but this is nice and firmly positioned in between where these are going to go. So I like it. Okay. What else? I don't think there's anything else to fill you in on other than this giant room is still progressing. There's a lot left to do. They've brought half the materials for all these things. So I kind of need to stop building things is the real thing. If I stop building things, then, you know, they will have a lot more resources to work with there. The other thing I want to do today, right after I take care of this rover being idle, which is, let's go down to crashed capsule. There's 2 of them. Let's go over to this one. The other thing I want to take care of today is having excess supply moved up top, right? I want excess supply to go up to the top for sales. So we're gonna work on that today too. It looks to me like I can afford to have more components made, right? I really can. I feel like I can. I think this is gonna be in the way though. Let's go over here and what do I have? I have lots of CPU left. Components factory is gonna have to be here to make that happen. No, here. Yep. Right here. So this pole needs to move over 2 positions. And then this is going to duck underneath and go on this side of it. And this is going to do the same. And I think that we'll end up with 8 machines making components right here. And then we can, you know, upgrade each of those machines to make them better as we go. So you need to be moved over here. And I'm actually going to take and move you over a little bit further even than this side. Because I may decide to just have this be even cheaper and just go around the machine, but that may not reach. You know, I think instead what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put a pole here. Let's put it here. And I'm going to put it on another pole on this side, like right here. And we'll hook these 2 up. And then we'll also hook these 2 up. And then this will get hooked up to this one too. So we're going to bypass this whole thing, essentially. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get that built and that built. And then as soon as those 2 things are operational, we'll cut this pole and redo all the connections, the split between these 2 poles. Okay. The other thing I'm doing is I'm adding one more conveyor elevator. Conveyor elevator is going to actually pop out right here. Okay. And it's going to pop into this belt system right here. And this is where all of our resources that we're making on this side of the base are all going to funnel into that to go into trade. Okay, to go to the flight control. So some of them are going to be, you know, making their way up from this one here, going into that side. There's only one left, right? These are all, this is an input, so we can also tap into this one. I guess there's 2 inputs and 2 outputs on this one. But then this one here is going to be primarily a just an inputs on every side, and we're going to have all the resources flowing in there. So for titanium plate, for example, there's a whole bunch in here, and we're using it, and that's great, but I do want to also sell a lot of it and get it up into storage and stuff. So we'll have to route this belt or from the storage, route it over there. Probably have one big belt that just routes everything all collectively, because as long as we get it on the same belt, the splitters will filter it. And you can see the filters are in place on these splitters now as well. So this is going to take everything, but not concrete. So concrete goes that way, everything else goes this way. And then here you have no concrete and no steel. Okay, but everything, the steel goes that way. Then here I've got it split up to where the resources that are in this row are going that way, and the resources that are in this row are going this way. And that's just sort of how that goes. And everything will just flow as it goes around. And eventually, if it does reach this point and it didn't go into any container, it will then make a loop and get popped right back on this belt to go again. And then I'll figure out what it is, and we'll add a storage for it in the loop somewhere, so we have extra spaces to do that here and here. So maybe it ends up being food or organics or something like that. I don't know, but we'll see. I probably won't put food on this in this area, but we'll see. This will look really cool once they're stored, because you get like they start lighting up and stuff. So I think it'll look really cool once we start getting everything kind of flowing through there. Yeah, cool. Okay. You're asking for more, and I don't have any more. Is this a slag deficit? Excuse me? There it is. That'll take care of it. My new splitter wasn't doing its job. Yep. It looks like I could probably deal with... they're not filling up too much. This one's filling up a lot. I can probably deal with having this belt be faster too, is what I'm thinking. So, but they have to be able to process it all. So it's still got to be sped up in other ways as well. Like, I think maybe... Yeah, once these things get full, then they'll stop, and then the resource. Yeah, I have to wait for these things to fill up again, is what it is. So this one's filling up now. Yeah, looking pretty good. Takes a bit. So we probably can have more slag. We can have more capacity for more slag as we go. You know, there's still 2,500 slag in these machines, but that's a whatever thing. We don't have enough for the rare earths to actually bother with that just yet. I could make this a high priority, and then they'll maybe start bringing it in there, but I would rather them focus on the core mission, which is this giant building here that's been being built for a very long time, that I probably should have built in sections instead of the entire thing. I still agree with that. If anyone's had that feedback, I don't know. I'm recording it in advance, right? So don't know. But if anyone has that feedback and it was just like, hey, you should build this, not the whole thing at a time, in hindsight, I agree. It probably would have been better. But that didn't happen, and it's currently not happening. And it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. We'll just go ahead and connect these two up like that. And I need, in order to build these, I need what? Let's see. Duralumin plate, which I am not making right now because I have a lack of rare earths. Because they're not actually, bringing them in. I'm also seeing whether or not I can survive now without burning fuel. And so all of this time we've been at night has been without burning any fuel. And wouldn't you know it, I have plenty of days remaining, even after all of my scans, which yielded basically no results, unfortunately. Let's just go ahead and dismantle this one. And we'll bring it over here now. Let's just see if I can get something, man. Just give me something. I want it right here. Okay, I get full refunds for this stuff now. I can go further away. I'm going to scan this area, see what we can get out of that. And then I think let's go ahead and make sure these storages are in place so that we can get them making things with that. That one's already done. Good. Yep. Excellent. This one here is good to go, and this one here is good to go as well. So now they have all the storages they need. And I could probably move this one. If I do, I can fit more concrete production here. But right now, it's not that big of a deal to me. So but we are actually going to run out of regolith in this pretty soon. So this is what it is. And you can see, of course, that upgrading this entire belt is not necessary yet, but it's upgraded for the future. So a lot of capacity is ready here. And these two machines are always full the most because they take like half the supply in each direction. So they have priority placement. So we'll want to get our multi-regolith refinery upgrades on these two first. And then again, as we start seeing them fill up more and more on the sides, as we add more regolith, we start upgrading from the inside out, essentially. This is just incredible to me that we have this much capacity for more titanium. I feel like I did not govern this as well as I could have. Now I kind of want to put a whole new row behind this and just see if we can actually take that. There's just so much titanium. But this is going down gradually. Yeah. So eventually this won't be the case. All right. So we're fine. I'm not going to bother with it anymore. Let's go ahead and get that put in. Research is complete on the rolling mill upgrades. Hoo boy. Here we go. Okay. So we want you done. And I guess I'm going to have, since you technically split the supply with this one, we'll go ahead and have this one done. And then I'm going to want more contracts pretty quick here just to pay for all of this stuff. All my storages are built. This is actually fully delivered now, so they will go ahead and construct this. There it goes. And we now have ourselves a cargo dock. So, again, this has changed since I last played, so let's see how this works. Can I actually do that? I can. I can dictate what comes out of each one. This used to be just purely regolith. And now it's not. Okay, well, I can change these up, right? Full refunds, it's fine. I can change them up, and we can come up with a better system for this. That is interesting. So I'm thinking probably I still want this. These filters are already established, by the way. So like I have rare earths going this way, and then everything else goes this way. And then if it's rare earth minerals, it goes this way, but everything else goes that way. And then it ends up on this belt and off it goes. But if it's food, what do? Right? If I'm bringing food back, there's not really anything I can do right here. So I was looking for, you know, those types of things. Like, so I'm going to take some time and figure out exactly how I want that to be. But for the time being, it's just going to be like this because we're going to get this, this big mineral thing is going to get done here pretty soon. And that's going to be bringing in the things that I really care about, specifically rare earths. I really want to bring those in. Be very nice to do. Okay, so these ice machines actually now have full slag. So both of them are like, I could upgrade them, but they're full, so they're not doing anything. So I need to get the slag over into this system here. And so that is going to be popped into that side right there. Okay, so if I can get it into there, that'd be nice. Let's see, maybe I'll work backwards. So going into here, I'd want it pop out here and then across through this direction. So if we go, say, like this, into there, that means we're going from here into there. So it goes like that. And then from this side, I don't think I've upgraded these enough to have that distance. I need the distance. Can I have research? Durable welding's nearly completed. I want the belts to be upgraded. Engineering, not belts, the underground right here, this one. Increases the length of underground conveyor connections by 6 cells. Let's bump that up. Ooh, no, not ahead of that though. Yeah, let that be. I want that. Okay. And then I guess we'll just make do with what we have for now, and then we can, again, get full refunds and replace it later. So if I go and let's say, can you reach, if I put you here, I have to be here. I wonder if you can reach, you can reach there. Yeah, that works. And then from this side, you go here. Yeah. So now I just need conveyor straight line from here. So we go like this. This is a temporary setup until I get the rest of it done. So this is going to come out and it's going to have to come under too, but that's okay. I don't think the volume is too heavy. We could technically mix this belt. But again, we're doing a temporary solution here until it's set up. So we'll go this way, and then like that, and then all the way into there. You go into there. You come over into there. You to there, and then that leads it all into the slag. So now all the slag can at least be ejected. Research complete. And it will make its way over into the slag system in here for processing into concrete, which I could use some more. I think so, yeah. Definitely use some more. Let's upgrade this too. That's definitely something that needs to happen. Durable welding. Special welding with preventative diagnostic technology for preventing faults increases the amortization period of all modules by 30%. Very good. And in 8 days, we'll have the multi-regolith upgrade. Then we'll work on the conveyor. Then we'll work on the assembler upgrade. And then after that, we're probably ready to... I was tempted by this because I only have one aluminum vein. But if I can find another aluminum vein, I'd rather not spend $90,000 to upgrade one of those, because those extractors are largely temporary. Unlocks new vegetable varieties with cultivation in a large organic farm. Growth speed 15% is going to be really helpful for me later. So we'll go ahead and pop that on the schedule. And then as far as engineering goes, I think Mark 5 belts, high-tech factory. Mark 5 belts aren't necessary yet, though. What's something I could really... I think components upgrade, maybe. I can always make more machines, though. That's the thing. Like, it's still cheaper for me to just make more. Large bulk storage. We'll put that on there. Large bulk storage would be good for the slag. It could be good for that. Objective
Director,
achieved.
We've managed to recover the MDR and are now able to mine regolith on the lunar surface outside the base.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Great job, Director. When I was a kid, I only read about these huge harvesters in books about a faraway desert planet, and never thought I'd get to work with them in my lifetime. Glad I was wrong.
Me too.
The MDR is fully equipped for autonomous mining, but to deliver the excavated regolith to the base, you will have to use a cargo truck. The construction of a cargo dock will make it possible to automate delivery routes, store the mined regolith, and move it automatically to processing modules on conveyor.
Before I let him finish, I'm just going to get another Rover Scout. That's actually really close to my money. So before we get a Rover Scout, let's do some more contracts. So we're going to take, for the contracts tab, let's go over here. I haven't done a contract in a while, actually. I had almost 1 million credits, so I've just been spending them. And this is obviously faster to facilitate if we had the flight control center up, which we will do eventually. But let's see, this air filter probably is a good one. I don't have enough of them. Interesting. Well, it's rare earths. I don't have the rare earths. So I kind of chicken and egg thing on that one. I need to have the rare earths to get more rare earths. These ones are all just on the trucks. I mean, yeah, I can get 244,000 delivered in 117 days. I have the fuel. I'm about to fill up on fuel, honestly, so maybe it's worth it. Where's the location? And it's always the exact opposite side of the freaking moon. It's never close by. It's always as far away as you could possibly get, and I'm just not interested. How about this urban infrastructure one? That's not really worth a whole lot. Maybe this one. I don't quite have enough silicon for it, but yeah, I'd rather do one that I have the parts for, like this one here. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Let's accept this one, and we'll get, there we go, just a little over what the 3,000 units can handle. So we'll do that one, and then also we can get another one queued up too, because that's a fairly easy one to facilitate. I have these. It's a bit of a long trek, but I have these. I think maybe it's time to get these hooked up to the base up here. So since this is done now, it just finished. So since that's the case, why don't I also go ahead and start thinking about where this belt that's going to take all these resources to the top. Let's see where this is going to be. And I'm leaning toward having it kind of run right alongside here, but it needs a gap so that things from this side can attach to it too. This one can probably run, maybe it should run here instead, right alongside this belt. But it needs to somehow have I need space. All right, let's figure out what this is. Let's say if I have my components factories here, hypothetical, which is not hypothetical, that's where it'll eventually be. I need 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is where another belt will be. So anything here or here would technically be able to do it, but there needs to be enough room for other belts to attach onto it. And this runs right into that, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna have to choose a different location for it. I'm still leaning like right here. I think this is still a fine place for it. Yeah, I'm gonna lean to right here. So we're gonna say here's where this belt's gonna go. Underneath. To here for now is fine. And then from here, it comes straight out a little bit. Let's say here like this. Let's give a little bit more room here. How about here? And then we'll have it be right into there. I think so. Let's delete this and delete this. And with that belt built, I can now get, for example, the titanium to just, you know, you can just go here like that and build all. And now this will come out and make its way up top. And then what we can do then is say, okay, well, we have these modular frames. I'd like those to be up top as well. Cool. You can just go here and you can connect to this system. Although I'm going to need another belt for this side to come in here too. So maybe this will be better suited to do that. So maybe this belt, this is going to expand that way though. So it's probably not going to be on that side. Probably be over here somewhere. And can it run right between here? Looks like it can. Yeah, right through the middle here. So maybe this is where I do it. I think so. This is kind of where it will be, I think. And it's going to go in on this side. So it'll be like this. Yep. And then we'll have this go into there. Yep. And so now we just need the resources to all just kind of move its way that way. So we'll say this comes out and goes over and meets up with that there. So modular frames are now going to the top. Modular terminals need to do the same. This is always a temporary spot for this. So I can move this too. As long as it gets access to this belt, it'll end up at the top. And then I also just want the titanium. The extra titanium should probably also go up to the top too. I wonder if it's worth just bridging off of this belt in this direction. Would probably take care of it. I could quite literally just connect here, and then the aluminum would just go, or the titanium would just go. I don't know if there's a way to, yeah, there's a priority to it too. Okay, so let's say we go like this. Okay. And this side will be low priority. And these two sides will be high priority. So only the extra, if these two are stalled, only then will this stuff direct that way. So that's going to get us titanium on the surface, plate on the surface. It's going to get us modular frames on the surface, components on the surface as well. I still think I should probably prioritize that. So I'm going to do it on this side so I can do that. And we'll say that this is a low priority here and a high priority that way. Yeah, I think so. We'll do that. So let's say go. So now it should still only go that direction unless this belt is just sitting around waiting, and then it'll deviate. Good. And that'll all end up again at the top. Now, once it gets up here, it needs to get into the system. So we're just going to go like that and upgrade this. So now anything that hits this elevator will come out and enter into the system that's, you know, up here, and that's, you know, going to get us much faster trades as we go. So I should see that start happening any second now. There it goes. And then all the stuff gets filtered. All right, so you can kind of see it in action here. All the stuff gets filtered, and basically anything that is destined for this side goes that way, and it skips by whatever according to the filters, and it ends up going wherever it needs to go. So in this case, it went there. Now, on this side, this is the problem now. Yep. So if it goes past this storage, because I have the filters wrong here, right? Because it says all resources, right? So what this will do, I don't have to redo this. It's just going to end up back on the belt. Well, it should have. It's not going to at this point, is it? No, I need to go further. I need to go like this, 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 and this. Okay, so now that'll change. So now what I want to do is, I wish there was a way for me to just kind of say everything except this. And I guess there is a way to do that. I can go all resources, check all of them, and then say no to titanium. I think that's how that works. Yeah. This one here would be the same thing. Check everything and then go like this. If it's made it to this point already, then it's already filtered past where it needs to be. So these ones here on this side, we're just going to go all resources like this and then deselect the aluminum. And then on this one here, this is the duralumin. So all resources except the duralumin. And then on this side, all resources. Yep, except the nanotubes. And then all resources except the titanium plate. Okay, that should be adequately filtered. So now we have plate and the regular titanium all flowing through, right? So that's good. Everything will flow through there. We get components. Okay, components don't have storage? Yes, they do, right here. Tell you what, though, I had the same problem here, don't I? So it's this. All except components. All except microcircuits. All except the microprocessors, etc., right? You get it. All right, there's a rover idle outside the base. Here's this one. It's at the crash capsule. Very nice. We're going to send an expedition to go pick up those rare earth elements. That'd be great. Now, what I want to do, though, is I need to get over to the base with this rover. I need to get over here so I can start searching for where we want to mine. So this needs to come all the way back. Everybody's so far away. You don't have a way to search for it. And I want to be more like concentration, I suppose, is kind of what I want to look at. I want to look for a concentration of the rare earths. And I have no idea where that would be necessarily. So I kind of want to, you know, maybe if I just start extracting from here, we could see what that is. Maybe I'll get lucky. So if I just start the extraction now, I might be able to see what that concentration is. So right now, mostly slag, of course. And there doesn't seem to be a whole lot as far as rare earths involved here in this location. So it seems like it's mostly titanium and silicon at the moment. But you see it fills up pretty fast. So we're going to want to move a little bit closer to the base, and we're going to get one of our rovers in there so that they can search for viable locations. And in fact, I still have a lot of places on the map I'd like to go, and I still do want that other rover. So I have a little bit of cash. Why don't we just do this? This is faster. It's not as economical, but it is faster. We'll order another rover. There you go. Okay, so now when the cargo trucks come back, they're going to want to pop it in here, and I need to have a better solution for that. So let me think about this really quick and how I want to go about this, and I'll be right back. The biggest thing about this is that slag is going to be very numerous. Like, there's going to be a lot of slag. The volume is going to be high. Regolith, volume is going to be pretty high. And I'm hoping rare earths is pretty high too. So I don't want to have the supply necessarily sharing a belt unless it's a very high volume belt. I think in the short term, I could just upgrade this to tier 3 and there'd be enough speed to like have the resources come out of here fast enough and go down to the underground. But I think I want to tweak how this thing is arranged to be better equipped for this. So this thing might end up being in the way. Are you in the way? Okay, so temporary storages don't actually get in the way. Good. So what I'd like to do here is we're going to come off of this side, and this is going to be where we place all the resources. Is going to go this way, okay? And then what we're going to do is we can take out this belt now. We don't need this. Actually, that whole thing can go. Yeah, that's good. In which case I can then redo this too. So a little bit of belt rearranging here, but that's what we got the discount for. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and pop that back in. No, we actually need this belt gone too, don't we? Yes, we do. This belt goes away too. Yes. Okay. So all that, we can ignore that storage. It's not in the way anymore. All right. So with this done, let's go ahead and make sure that's upgraded. Okay. This is my regolith belt that's going straight through here. I want a slag belt as well, I think. And I'm just going to have this be right up next to it. Well, I could probably leave a space just so it looks a little cleaner, but it's fine. It goes right here. Yeah. So we're just going to say like this will be my slag belt. So on this one, you can see this one here is dedicated only to regolith. So this one here is going to be dedicated only to slag, and slag will come through this way and it pops down into here. Then all of the resources that are going to go into this storage system, that part happens here, and they come out and go into the storage system like so. I think I'll probably go ahead and make that belt faster too if I can. There we go. Everything's getting... so this is the part that gets a little bit crowded, right? Because if stuff is getting, it's got to be fast enough to go through here. So we're going to say upgrade and upgrade. I think at least these two should be upgraded. And I think maybe I'll even do a third because I can afford it. So we'll do that right now. That should hopefully get this to get through faster so that it doesn't tie it up. Because like everything is going that direction right now. We do have some components in the mix. And look, modular frames are in here now too. So those get, again, sorted and placed into the storages where they belong. And when modular frames goes in here, it actually ends up in here. Because we need more storage for that too. So those three are storing that. Okay. So yeah, slag, regolith, they all come through these two belts. And then now we have basically 3 inputs and 1 output over it, which is, I think, a pretty good design so far. What if we have, here's the other thing, right? What if we have other stuff, right? Let's say they bring, is this upgraded or what? Oh, I put a tier 2 here. Hang on. I was like, why is it a different color? That's just put like this. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on with that. That seems interesting, doesn't it? Like the post is still planned. Okay, that's fine. Full refunds, right? So any other resource, let's say components come in or concrete comes in, titanium plate, etc., all that stuff, right? It's currently going to come out here. Everything comes out here, aside from a few select things like regolith and slag. And anything that does not go in our storages over there is also not in this list, right? Actually, this is. So, but anything that doesn't go in the storages over there is not in this list. So it will come down here. If it's rare earth element, it will go that way because it needs to go down that chute right there. And I'm probably going to do food that way too. I'll probably hook up food storage down that way too. Carbon fiber will be interacting with this one and coming back, I think. But we'll see. And then carbon fiber most likely gets routed here to go out into storage because we will need carbon fiber storage for sure. I just don't have it placed yet. Most likely it will be these 2 spots here, but we'll see. And then, yeah, anything else that's not this goes to the left. So now everything is going this way, and that's not what I want because only the rare earth elements need to come through here. So now I'm going to change where this is located, and we go like this. All right. And just upgrade that to 2. So now what we do is on this side, we lock it down to only rare earth minerals, and then all resources except these 2 go that direction. Okay, and I probably should, just to be on the safe side, I'll deselect anything that's not going in our storages over there. I think that's pretty much it. Water, ice, slag, regolith. Yeah, that stuff shouldn't go this way, but anything that's green right now is something that has a storage bin over there. And no food, no medicine. Yeah. So essentially anything that's not slag and regolith comes from this side. And then it gets, rare earth that way, rare earth elements this way, and then everything else goes to the belt and it ends up in storage somewhere over here. For now, that's how we're going to do it. We'll expand as we have more needs. Like for example, I don't have any way of bringing in water ice right now, right? So I'll probably have that be one of these belts. Come in on one of these belts, but these 2, regolith and slag, need a dedicated belt. The volume of them is too high. I want those to have a dedicated belt, and then everything else, whatever. Now, one thing I could do just to give a little extra cushion with this, because again, full refunds, yay. One thing I could do to add some extra cushion that I'm just now thinking of is just having some buffer storage. It's not gonna be a huge deal to have some buffer storage in here, so we could put one like right here and put another one, let's say right here. It's probably fine. Yeah, just like that. And so you go into there, and you go into there, and then you go into there, and you go into there. And then I guess actually it needs to be level 2, right? Can I not change that while I've already... Doesn't look like it. Yeah. All right, cool. I'll upgrade you, and upgrade you. Cool. And then this one will hold... This is the slag belt. So this one will hold slag. This one will hold regolith. And now we just have some extra buffer on that. It's also easier to kind of... it'll be easier to tell which one is which, but yeah. And then they're level 2 already because, again, the volume is high. Now, as this stuff comes down, it then gets sorted here like this. So how I've got this working is a dedicated slag belt here, which will probably need to be level 2 to keep up with everything. And then I'll have this whole thing be 2. Running out of money here. That's all 2 now. Good. So we'll have a dedicated slag belt here. and it'll all get, you know, flowing this direction. That's great. Then coming out of this side, we have dedicated only rare earth elements, which pops into here and then gets sorted here. And then the actual rare earths themselves have already been redirected up top to come in through here, which they will do so like this. And they will end up being that resource. And so we end up with essentially only rare earth elements coming out here for now, meeting up with us there. And then they end up in this storage and then get dispersed on the 2 directions that they need to get dispersed with. Okay, cool. I like where things are going so far. I'm going to drop in 2 more smart concrete production because we're going to have more slag coming in soon. And we can probably get them upgraded if it looks like it's necessary. But I've redone all the belts on this, and that's nice. And yeah, carbon fiber storage will definitely need at some point be here. And I think there's room for 2 of them, right? 1, 2. Oh, don't do that. You are going to do that, aren't you? You know? I mean, I can just move it over, right? Just to make everything... Because we're going to need more than one of these, so... I'll just move it over. It's not hard to do. It's a full refund. Yeah. I love that. That's a great upgrade. I like those upgrades for full refunds. Honestly, I mean, we could even go further if we want to. We got lots of space, right? We could just go further, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with the way things are at the moment. So if you... no, it's this one here. This one goes to this side. We'll say it that way. Yep. I mean, should I just leave space for another? I can always route the belt this way too and put the other storage on this side. Yeah, fine. All right, just hook it up there. You're going this way. All of these come out and go that way. Yep. So you're going like this. And then on this belt, we want to go under. This belt, we want to come around like this, like that. And then boom, 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 boom. And hook it. Oops. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Oh, definitely not. Yeah, right here. Some people are going to say, wow, he's really indecisive. He's really rapidly arguing with himself. It's a movie quote, okay? I made everything conveyor too. Mistakes were made. Okay, so now that I got all that stuff done, I'm going to bring the rover. And that's a contract just completed. I'm going to bring the rover up here. And what we're going to do with this rover is we're going to search for hidden objects. I thought we could do a geological scan. Oh, displays the regolith riches for research needed. Okay, hang on. There's research that needs to be done here. Where is that, I wonder? Engineering, probably. Actually, it should be whatever branch. I guess we didn't have a branch for the MDR, did we? Because it's something we found. So where would that be? Fundamental, maybe. It's in like truck speed upgrades, rover upgrades, battery capacity, rover geologist. There it is. Okay, so we need to go down mechanical engineering first, then the rover upgrade to increase its movement speed, and then the geologist. Okay, so I didn't need this thing yet. That's what we're going for. So here's what we'll do instead. Since I didn't need this thing yet, let's go to the broken rover here. We'll just keep searching for things. I got the other rover going to these 2 question marks over here. And then this guy has got some stuff, and he is on his way. He's moving, but I guess he's moving back home. Doesn't have a directive, but he's bringing back titanium and modular frames. So since he's bringing back titanium and modular frames, perhaps we can see if this works. Hang on. So this truck just pulled in. Okay. And I'm not sure what he just dropped off. Must have already gone down the belts. How would I have missed it? Refueling station has 50 out of 100, but what is in here? Preferred resources. What would have... I guess we'll mark these. Yeah, we got to mark all these. So we'll say preferred resources for this is basically everything that's going to storage, everything that is marked for storage. None of the oxides specifically. All of these things. Yes, that I think is the preferred storage. We have carbon fiber storage popped in now, so we should have that. So basically everything that's not going to that storage area is right here. Okay, but I suppose that would mean that trucks that have those resources will choose this one. So we could have another cargo bay, another cargo dock for other resources. So I was thinking like ice, for example, and fuel. Those two things kind of go together to me because I'm using them to make them. And maybe helium-3 and like some of those other obscure ones, we could have that stuff be in a separate cargo bay and it comes in through a different way. So, but this one I think I like the location of, and I currently like the way it's set up, but I'm not sure why that cargo truck decided to go in through there because he didn't really drop anything off from what I can tell. So I have 9.3 days left of power, and that is 9. It's just enough. I need to get these built. What is the... It's duralumin plate. You know what? Let's just buy some duralumin plate. Actually, let's not do that. Let's buy... rare earths would be nice to buy. I can't buy the elements. I can just buy the... I can't buy the stuff to process. I can only buy this, and this is quite expensive. It's too expensive. That's not worth it. I might as well just buy the plate. I don't know. Maybe not. This is $8.96. The plate is $2,100, so it is technically better to do that. Now, you know what? It's fine. Like, for now, we'll just turn this on. This will at least keep us through the night for now. And then the real thing is to just kind of get access to that stuff. And since I can't search it with the rover, that's what I was waiting for, is searching it for the rover. But since I can't do that, I guess I just start extraction in random places. And we'll see whether or not we get this. So this is aluminum. Ooh, I'm liking this. You know what? We're going to sit here for a second. Aluminum is great, right? The regolith is comprised prominently of aluminum in this location. So let's just let this thing go for a bit. I like that. And then we can set up trade routes with this stuff too. So if I configure a route, let's say it goes to our route assignment departure point is this, and we bring it to my base. Yep. And I guess we just fill up, right? Yeah. We just say patrol, and it just does this back and forth, bringing stuff in here. So that's nifty. I don't think, I'm not sure it's really necessary right now, but there's a pretty good amount of time, I guess, pretty good amount of space between us. So we'll just assign that route now, and then everything that thing is kicking out, our truck is going to go get it and bring it back here. And it's going to be regolith, prominently regolith. So it's going to end up going through here, and then it ends up into the belt. From here, it'll go off the green belt, just faster. Gets popped onto this, and then it gets sent into the system, and that's more aluminum for me. So I'm good with that. Speaking of which, this scanner is now set up, but I don't have the power at the moment, so I'm going to pass on that for now. All right, another idle rover here. Just the server hub has got some resources we can go get, so that's cool. We'll go ahead and search this relay station over here, I guess. And you're going to search those 2 question marks, and you guys all have stuff. You're bringing stuff back. I want to see this in action. I want to see this thing drop off these resources and have it end up in our storage chests over here, just to verify that this is all set up correctly. I mean, it should be. And I have both modular frames and the titanium already set. So it should just drop them off here and then take off. And those resources should come out here and get filtered correctly. And then I'll know everything is working as it should. Yeah. Okay, cool. Contracts. Let's see if there's any others we can do. And you know what? Components are pretty good. I'd love the science as well, especially since I have to go... Is it fundamental science I have to go down? I want to get geologist. It's fundamental. Yeah. So, I mean, we're still going to need lots of blue and green, and then everything. Okay, so maybe there's contracts out there. I can also just put one of the rovers in science mode too. That's a thing I could do. I know, I just haven't done it yet, but I can do that. I'm working on... That's why it's never really a waste to get an extra rover, especially when you still have unsearched things. This one here's an interesting one. I like this. Gives us good amounts of science plus money. And I have everything to deliver this. So why don't we go ahead and accept this? And looks to me like the entire contract can be completed with 1 orbiter S1. That's nice. And then another one could be, I think the components one is probably still a fine one. There's lots of money involved in that too. So we'll go ahead and have that set up as well. And bring that down too. So There you go. Bring them down. Our rovers will take care of it. So in the future, though, the rovers won't be doing this. So this is everything's very close, so it's good. But in the future, the rovers won't be doing this, right? It'll be the flight control center. I did say we're going to set that up today. So let's go ahead and do it finally. So I'm going to have it be facing this direction. And that input belt's going to come this way. It's going to be quite a long belt because it's also going to need to feed the expedition center at the same time. Same belt system will do that. I may have 2 belt systems, but I think one is probably all right. And I'm going to have this have a little bit of space. So I'm going to say probably we go like, let's say here. This is an okay spot for it, I guess. These will come out and at their right. Oh, I was leaving some space is what I said, but apparently not. We're going to go right up against the back of this, which I guess is the most efficient way to do it, isn't it? Yeah, less space. I guess so. So this is the output belt. Of course, it's going to end up like this for that, right? Output belt for this goes there, and then input belt for this. Whoops, looks like we're ejecting fuel at the moment, aren't we? Okay, stand by. We're going to go ahead and lock that. And let's go ahead and just dump that for a second. Oh, yeah, you still have some inside the splitter, too. There you go. Okay, so we got that set up, and I probably should just do it this way instead. No, not like that. Not like that. Like this. There. Then dump it. Okay. And then this can stay open so the other resources can go, but this one would lock so that it doesn't come out. Just like all the rest of them, we lock the output so that they don't eject it, right? So now what's going to happen is once they build this... Oh, here we go. Okay, there's a little bit of clipping here. I don't like that, but it's fine. It is what it is. Here we go. Got some money there. And then you're going to eject. You're going to dump off all this stuff. And it comes out this belt. There it is. So the truck is done. It's going to go off and do its thing. And this is going to come through the belt. Nothing should go this way. It should all go that way. There it goes. And so we can see what's in storage here. Yep. Titanium and modular frames is going through there. Cool. To collect resources mined by the mobile drilling rig, send a cargo truck. Yeah, I just did that already. Yeah. Allows for automation of regolith delivery. Once the cargo truck unloads the materials, it will return to the route previously selected to the MDR. Yep. So effectively, we should have the MDR doing things. There it is. And currently the MDR has it looks like 2,500 regolith, 11% saturation for aluminum. It's actually growing because this area appears to have a pretty good concentration of it. I think. Well, maybe not. Concentration of silicon oxide in the mining radius. Okay, so actually it's primarily a silicon place. Yep. No rare earths, but we'd have some iron here too. Well, we're going to have this initial load. If it really isn't, if it's really just silicon, I'm going to move. There is a little bit of aluminum here, yes, but if it's just silicon, I'm going to move. So the truck just picked it up. So we're going to go ahead and move this. And let's move it over, we'll just dispatch to mine here. We're just going to have to guess for a little bit until we have the geology upgrade. And then we'll know where it is. Okay, so for this belt, we're going to have it go all the way like this. Pop right into the center. That's fine. Right there. This belt does need to be upgraded. It does need to be very fast. Most of the ejection belts we're going to have are going to be very fast. As I get more money, I'll be doing more and more belts. But basically, all the belts that are on the exit side, they all need to be incredibly fast. I don't care so much about the input side, but the output side needs to be very fast because we're going to be delivering a lot of stuff. And we need it to come out of the storage very quickly. So we're going to have this entire section here upgraded to at least tier 2 right now, and then probably as we go it'll end up being 4 and possibly 5. These little things here, we'll go ahead and put them at 3. There we go. Gotta kind of do all of them independently like this, huh? There we go. Okay, so that takes care of the that belt. I guess I have to do these ones too though, don't I? Yeah, so this one goes up, up, up. It's a lot of money, but I have it, so okay. There we go. Okay, and then you are going to go like that. Cool. So when we drop things off or something happens with that flight control center, the ejects this direction and goes around and pops it in there. That's fine. Everything else gets filtered by the existing filters. And then on this side, we govern what goes in here based on opening up storages. So if I want to sell a bunch of titanium plate right now, all I have to do is open the storage and it'll just flow right out and go in there. And then what happens is, you might be curious, I'm like, okay, so all your contracts are going to be, delivering things. What's going to be dropped off here? Why do you need an exit belt? Well, if I send a bunch of titanium this way, let's say I send all 800 this direction, but the contract only calls for 600. It's not going to take 600 and then stall this belt. All it's going to do is pass through. The excess that it doesn't want is going to pass through. So the titanium plate ends up passing through and it goes into this filter, which then gets brought in through here, and then it gets back into the system and gets back delivered. Eventually it gets delivered, right? And that's how that's going to rock. But I am going to, probably in the beginning, I'm going to be micromanaging on it because I just am that way. So I'll probably be like, okay, that looks like it's a good enough amount. Like I'll look at the storage and say, okay, there's 820 in here. I'll open this up until I see it has 620 and then I'll close it, right? And that way we only get a few units maybe that are extra, that kind of thing. But that's what you need the eject belt for, and that belt works itself all the way around and gets itself back into this system here, which means this is going to need to be upgraded eventually too. So I'll just go ahead and do it because that gets it back on this belt a little bit faster. This is all tier 1, so we can have room for this eject to happen and not slow it down. Yep, and then all that just flows, baby. Just flow. All of it goes into storage. Look at all that titanium going into storage. And it gets flooded into here. Yep. So now we can afford to run a big contract. This is actually built now, which is nice. I do need the power routed that way though, don't I? I sure do. I sure do. We can put it right next to this, but I was really hoping not to do that. I'm going to though. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put it on its own separate line. Right alongside this belt. That. And that. Nope. Good thing I get full refunds now, eh? I'm just going to keep saying the same thing. Are you annoyed by my full refundness yet? It's like, yes, we know, we get it. You get a full refund. Yada, yada, shut up. I tell you what, man, if I don't say it though, somebody will tell me I'm wasting my money. Somebody will do it. You watch. It'll happen. It will happen in a way that's not a joke either. They'll be dead serious. All right. Here we go. All the way this way. And I kind of don't want this to be that close to the inputs. So I'm going to, let's do this. Let's put it right here. That's way it's not in anyone's way. That way I can go like that. And I guess I can hook it this way, but I don't need to do that. I just want to make sure it's not in the way of any belts in the future. There might be some storages and filters and things like that in this area, and I just don't want to get in its way. So that's how we'll do that. All right, so this gets done. Yep, all like this. A nice organized power setup coming through here, okay? Once it has power, we can then send contracts to the flight control center. So let's test it out. I got exotic materials right here. Okay. I need to deliver 900 titanium. It's 143,000 bucks. Right? So I can accept this contract, and if I send the resources and I tell it that I want to go to flight control center, right? I just need to go like this, and it's still the same orbiters and stuff, but now I don't have to deal with the bots doing it manually because there's a lot of units, right? It's like 900 of them. I don't want to have to deal with that kind of thing. So I can go 1, and then I go like this. I guess it's just a little bit left, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, a little bit left here. 2. So they're going to land. I don't have power yet, but that's going to happen. They're going to land, and so all I'm going to do now is open the floodgates. And this just sends it all the way where it needs to go, which is into this unit here. And it should flow all up in there. Yep, 840 of it. The bots don't have to bring it. See, isn't that beautiful? I think that's beautiful. Just flows right in. We have a working flight control center now. Underground conveyor 2 is done. Let's go into railgun and stuff as well, but we're going to focus mechanical engineering until we get geologist. And then I'll go railgun, and that's going to open up the possibilities of doing the outposts and stuff. I want to interact with that stuff a little bit more too. But yeah, working flight control center. It happened this video. I did say it was going to happen. And do you guys like my little square? Huh? I didn't even do this intentionally. It just sort of happened organically. Nice little square. Honestly, I think everything is looking pretty organized here, if I have to say so myself, which I do because you guys never praise me. You only critique me. So, you know, here you go. People don't say anything in the comments unless they have critiques. But yeah, here you go. This is it. This is our new base. I like it. Hopefully you like it too. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.